What's up, YouTube? It's Ask the Young One with CreateHighVibrations.com. Today's question is, do narcissists cheat and why? I will say that not all cheaters are narcissists, and yes, all narcissists will cheat, at least from my experience and pretty much the experience of every single person I've talked to that has dealt with a narcissist in their life. Narcissists will cheat on you from day one to the last day. And they do it because they're full of entitlement. They feel they're entitled to do what they want to do. The main reason that they will do it is for supply, for fuel. These people will seek fuel and supply from anyone, and they will cheat. It's in their DNA. It's how they roll. It's how they function. They cannot survive without these multiple outlets of fuel and supply. So they will cheat. They will cheat with co-workers. They'll cheat with prostitutes. They'll cheat with your friends, your family. I had one situation where the narc was cheating with a person in his own family. And that's a weird story, and I don't really want to go into it. But they will cheat with anyone that they can. And many times when they're caught, or if they're confronted with it, I should say. It all kind of depends on the situation. If they're confronted with it, and you don't, it's just a feeling, or you suspect it, they're gonna lie. That's their natural response, is to lie. They're gonna try to deflect and blame you and turn it back onto you. A lot of times. If you catch them flat out and there's no denying it, they're still going to deny it, but at the same time they may promise to never do it again, and they'll go into their whole "I'm sorry," which "I'm sorry and I'll never do it again" is basically just what you would want to hear. And a lot of times that will only work if you're not suspecting any other type of behavior or adding in any other types of behaviors. What's going to happen is they're going to tell you this, and they're going to go and start doing it again within a few days probably. They're never going to stop doing it because it's fuel. It's part of their livelihood. It's their lifeline to live is supply, and they will always seek it in multiple different parts. They can't just function with getting it just primarily from a spouse or a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever it may be. If you catch them and you call them out, and this person that they're cheating with, or it's one of the persons that they're cheating with, they feel they have hooked them into possibly becoming a primary supply, you may find yourself in a position then where you're completely discarded. A lot of times they're seeking a replacement, and then the cheating is just coming along as part of it. So if they're cheating on you with someone and they can replace you with that person and you've caught them, chances are they're going to, instead of being accountable for their actions, they're going to just discard you and move along. And the reason why they can do this, and the reason why they can say, "Oh, I'll change," or "I promise I'll never do it again," or the fact that they can even go out and cheat in the first place, is because they have no conscience. They have no ability to feel remorse or guilt for their actions. To them, they're not accountable for those actions. To them, they're entitled to do those things, and no one should say anything about it. So when it comes to, does a narcissist cheat, or if you ever suspect that they're cheating, the suspicion is probably intuition, and you should probably follow that all the way to the bank. And it's probably the most correct thing that you will ever find in a relationship with a narcissist. So with that, I hope it answers the question that was presented on if they cheat. The other thing I want to leave this video with is, I know each individual person and situation is extremely difficult. It is probably one of the most painful, most disturbing things a person can experience is a relationship with one of these types of people. And I do want to point out the reason why it's become so popular, and the reason why, not really popular, I guess it is popular, but the epidemic that it's become is that there really is a shift happening in this world. And I don't, some will understand what I'm saying, some may not. But what it comes down to is, as humans, the way we're built, we have to evolve at some point. Right now is a very unique time of that type of thing happening. Many people are becoming more conscious to the world, to their own self, to everything that's happening around them. This type of relationship is an exact key that can happen to a person when their time is coming to awaken, to evolve, to become more conscious. And when that happens, you can't move forward in life consciously with an unconscious person. Narcissists are completely unconscious beings that are not connected to their souls, to their conscious awareness. They're not connected to that. They're completely in an unconscious false self survival mode, and that's how they roll. So when people are asking, why is this happening? And when you go into a group and there's 60,000 people in one and 50,000 in another, and then you just the awareness that's coming out in everything, that is one of the reasons why that's happening. So cheating is just a small portion of it. That should be the part that splits it, and it's time to move forward. Because if they're cheating now, they're going to always be cheating. You're going to keep going in this cycle with them. So I just want to throw that out at the end, to give people something to think about on the bigger picture of the why. And this isn't a bigger picture of why it's happening to all these people. I mean, this is each individual. This is what's happening, and we have to be able to see that. And I hope it can give people a little bit of the aha, something to kind of think about. And like I said, I know it's extremely difficult. It's very difficult thing to deal with, but especially if there's children involved. But there's a reason behind the madness, and this universe has your back, and it's trying to propel you. So just something to think about. You can always ask questions more about in depth on that if you want, but I hope the whole cheating part helps some grasp why they do it, but just know that they're always going to do it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. And then always remember that a narcissist lives a false self, so they'll never be true to you or to anybody else. When they can't be true to yourself, how can they be true to anybody else? So, with that, I will leave it for the next video. This is already 9 minutes of rambling. So, I will see you next time. Namaste.